they were talking about how when you have parents that are not together, how the children will romanticize the parent that's not in the home. And the parent that is in the home, they don't really see all of what that parent is doing for them, the efforts that they're making, the love that they're giving, the things that they've got to go through, and how they're trying to provide for them. And so when they are hurt as an adult and they look back on their childhood, they want to blame the parent that they actually lived with that was doing everything for them versus the parent that was not living there. Thank you for showing me what Black girl magic looks like, what it means to make your own money and make your own decisions, to be independent and stand up for yourself. I apologize for not recognizing your Black girl magic, and that you working all the time was you surviving because you had to be independent. Welcome to another episode of Becoming with Angelina Watkins, and I'm your host, Angelina, your queen of becoming, and I help sophisticated professional women and first-time entrepreneurs become who they need to be so they can do what they're purposed to do, so they can live the abundant life that they want to live. And I started this podcast to talk about healing to prosperity and everything in between that you need to know to become who you need to be to win at love, life, and money. Now, before we get started, let's do some housekeeping. If this is the first time joining us, then I want to welcome you to the show. Thank you for joining us. We're here every Thursday, so please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss another episode, because I promise you, you will like the things that I talk about and you'll enjoy the things that I have to say. Now, I enjoy you. I enjoy it when you talk to me. I enjoy it when you participate. So make sure you leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think of the show. Let me know what your thoughts were. Let me know what you would like for me to talk about in the future. What are you struggling with? What do you need help with? What do you need to know in order to become who you need to be to win at love, life, and money? All right, so this episode, it's called Dear Mama, I'm Sorry. And I decided to do this episode because I just been thinking about my journey as a mother and the things that we as mothers go through, and how we look back on some stuff that how we grew up, and we end up seeing ourselves in our children, and we end up, passing on to them some not so good habits, maybe demeanors, characteristics, personality traits. And I was in denial of the things that I was seeing. And who wants to think that that the way your child is acting is that's how you used to be? But I had to come to the hard truth that the way my child is history repeating itself. And sometimes that's just the way it is. And I got to thinking about this video that I seen where they were talking about how when you have parents that are not together, how the children will romanticize the parent that's not in the home. And the parent that is in the home, they don't really see all of what that parent is doing for them, the efforts that they're making, the love that they're giving, the things that they've got to go through, and how they're trying to provide for them. And so when they are hurt as an adult and they look back on their childhood, they want to blame the parent that they actually lived with that was doing everything for them versus the parent that was not living there. And sometimes I feel like I might be in that same situation, but I had to look back and say, you know, I was that child. I was that child who parents split up, and the parent that wasn't in the home could do no wrong, and the parent in the home was all wrong. Okay. And because of this, and because of my epiphanies, and because of what I've been going through, I decided that I'm going to publicly apologize to my mother. And I wrote a letter to her. So I want to read this letter, and I'm going to try not to cry because I'm a crier. But Mama, if you're listening, I have some words for you. So, here we go. Dear Mama, becoming a mom was one of the greatest achievements in my life, and you were there every step of the way as you have been in all of the major milestones of my life. And I wanted to take the time to give you a long overdue thank you slash apology. As I watch my child grow into who she is supposed to be, I see history repeating itself and not necessarily all of the good things. But since I turned out okay, I pray for a happy ending. You used to say that what we do will come back to us a hundredfold. Well, I'm thinking I'm getting my hundredfold, and it doesn't feel good. Thank you, Mama, for always being there for me. Birthdays, graduations, marriage, having a baby, promotions, chasing my dream. Even when my father passed away, you were there. When we got the news, you were there. In the car driving back to my hometown, you were there, no hesitation, helping us make the funeral arrangements. You were there. You have always been there. Thank you for all the just because gifts. Just because you were thinking of me, just because you thought it was cute, just because you thought it would look nice on me, just because it went with the decor of my home, just because. Thank you for helping me with my daughter, whether I was working late or had to go to school. I could depend on you to pick her up, watch her, feed her, and you even now have done what you've done for me, which was used to take me on trips, and so that's what you've been doing with her. You've been taking her on trips. I apologize for my attitude and not appreciating all you were doing for me and all that you were trying to show me. You could have been an absentee parent and left me home or with other people, but you didn't. 90% of the time, you took me with you out of town, and because of that, I have done the same for mine. But just like me, she doesn't see the effort. She doesn't see the love. She doesn't see the lessons, but I'm hoping one day she does. I'm hoping that one day she will get the same epiphany as me and see the love. Thank you for showing me what black girl magic looks like, what it means to make your own money and make your own decisions, to be independent and stand up for yourself. I apologize for not recognizing your black girl magic and that you working all the time was you surviving because you had to be independent. I apologize for not seeing that you were doing what you had to do to take care of us after my father moved out. I apologize for feeling sorry for my pop and thinking the sun rose and set on him, for secretly blaming you for the split. I apologize for really thinking the grass was greener on the other side. I went to the other yard and I found out some hard truths, that it was not all you. Mama, I apologize that I didn't show you grace and mercy for the pain you were going through and not seeing all your hurt and pain while you were struggling with a broken heart. You've been through some things and you still rise strong and handled your business. I guess that's where I get it from. No matter the pain, you show up for yourself. I apologize, Mama, for my negativity and my attitude as a teenager. I apologize for all the things I did you know about and all the things you don't know about. I appreciate you and I loved you, but I didn't appreciate and love all the things you made me do. So while doing them, I still had an attitude. I was negative and critical. And I remember you always telling me about my attitude, but just like mine, I wouldn't listen. I apologize for not listening. I apologize it took me so long to get it, to get that life is too short to be mad all the time. Life is too short to be miserable all the time. Life is too short to not enjoy life. I apologize for overusing the word bored. You did your best to show me something different, to keep me moving and energized, to keep my spirits up, and I just couldn't see it. My pop used to always say, never say sorry, because we aren't a sorry people. But dear Mama, I'm sorry. Love your daughter, Angelina, aka Bina. Now, I made it through without crying, y'all, but I'm feeling relieved. My mom deserved that and this was long overdue. So, my words to you all is take the time that if your parent is in your life, because there's a lot of people who don't have their parents in their life. They don't have their father's not around, their mother's not around. But for those of you whose parent has been there, whose parent is always showing up, whose parent is always caring, they're always nurturing, they're always, as an adult, still there for you, hug them, let them know you love them, appreciate all that they've done for you, because life is too short not to appreciate. Now, where you are is not where you have to be. Your past does not define you. You define you. So heal, transform, and pursue you.